iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine. Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya De Satarine. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhischa. Kripa Sindhupe Bacha. Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, when the flood of love of God waters the material earth, then those seeds of material desires become impotent. That flood starts from Sridham Mayapur. That is explained also in this chapter. And that Lord Chaitanya opened up the floodgates of love. And that flood started in the area of Sridham Mayapur, and now it is going everywhere and anywhere to all places throughout the world. And people are becoming happy. As it says here, those who are engaged in various activities for some kind of material gain become less inclined to some activities, and they become interested in the Krishna conscious movement. Krishna conscious movement is on the highest level of transcendental happiness, which gives a person so much happiness that they forget all about their material life. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered Namo Mahabadanaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namadi Gauda Triste Namaha. He is the most magnanimous, most magnificent, most easily approachable personality of Godhead who brings about the flood of transcendental happiness in the form of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It says here that there's persons who become envious when they see the movement spreading. Why do they become envious? Because they still desire material happiness, and they become very unhappy when they're seeing that their material happiness is being threatened by the spread of love of God. And therefore they think of different ways to avoid or to stop the Krishna conscious movement. Of course, all of their plans have no potency or no value because this movement is conducted by the supreme orchestrator himself, the personality of Godhead, who's brought this um, transcendental process of love of God to the material world by his unlimited causeless mercy in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan Ratin Jan Milo Kene Upayi. It's coming from the spiritual world, brought there by the Supreme Lord, brought here by the Supreme Lord himself. And it is inundated everyone. So those who take part in this Krishna conscious movement and become attached to chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can really understand what is real happiness and what is real freedom from material suffering. Here, Prabhupada uses the word material enjoyment, but material enjoyment is another nomenclature that means a diversion away from real enjoyment. Because material enjoyment ultimately is not enjoyment. It's simply a form of enjoyment that is opposite real enjoyment. What is that opposite? It connects the mind and the senses to the external energy and gives some relief, temporary relief from some material suffering. But that temporary relief is so temporary that people cannot become satisfied with that. Therefore, they always look for more. But Krishna consciousness, when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, says that when you're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in kirtan with others, your happiness is increasing more and more and more. And then as you increase more and more, what do? You get up and you dance. Even if you don't know how to dance, it does not really make a difference because you don't even think. All you do is get up there and try to dance in whatever way you can. Of course, you're not even thinking about how you're dancing, you're just dancing because the sound of the vibration of Krishna's name is lifting you upward towards unlimited happiness. And then you go on for hours like that. And Lord Chaitanya showed in so many ways how kirtan, Lord Nityananda did kirtan for 3 months straight without stopping. None of his followers, his Gopals, ate, slept, or even did anything else but chant for 3 consecutive months. You might say that sounds like some exaggeration. It's not, because the scriptures have no business to give fairy tales or exaggeration. They're coming from the great souls who have actually tasted this. Therefore, Vrindavan Das Thakur writes about this pastime of Lord Nityananda in the area of Navadvip for 3 full months near the house of Sri Raghava Pandit. And Lord Chaitanya also would dance. Every night, Lord Chaitanya would leave his home just around dusk, and he would gather with him a few of his important disciples, such as Nityananda and Advaita, and they would go to the house of Srivas, and they would begin kirtan. And one of Lord Chaitanya's leading kirtanayers, either Mukunda Dat or even Advaita Charya, or others would sing, and Lord Chaitanya would get into dancing and dancing and dancing. Sometimes he would dance throughout the whole night. And in the morning, as the sun would raise up, he would feel so happy. Then the kirtan would stop. He would bring the kirtan to a slow close, just as autumn leaves float down from the trees very gracefully to the ground. He would take that kirtan and bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, and then he would stop. And then, in an euphoric mood, he would turn and go home and sleep in the darkness of night. And then he would wake up, and within a few hours, again begin his day of chanting and dancing and chanting and dancing. So Lord Chaitanya showed by example what is the principle by which one can achieve transcendental happiness. People in the material world look for happiness through singing and dancing, but in order for them to come to that stage, they have to engage in some forms of intoxication. And in order to get beyond their inhibitions, and then they jump around. And then after some time, due to the effects of intoxication, they sleep, and then the next day, their bodies are full of pain and suffering. But in Krishna consciousness, we forget about everything, and we just dive deeply into the whirlwind of the holy name, and it takes you more and more and more. And devotees forget who they are, where they are, why they are, how they are, what they are. All they know is that they have now experiencing what they've been looking for millions of lifetimes. And that happiness that is unending and ever expanding. And this is the Krishna consciousness movement, especially. Lord Chaitanya has orchestrated in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. This Harinam Sankirtan, Krishna Varnam Tvasa Krishna Sangopanga Saparshadam Yagyai Sankirtanai Prayai Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha. Those who have good intelligence, those whose intelligence are actually fertilized by understanding what is the what is one's best interest in life, take part in this Sankirtan movement. They leave everything else behind. Their friends, their family members, their responsibilities, everything, and dive deeply into the Sankirtan movement. When Lord Krishna was in Vrindavan, he would play on his flute, and all of the gopis, they would hear that flute, and wherever they were, with their husbands, with their children, doing their chores, sleeping, they would simply jump up and run into the forest to meet Lord Krishna. So in the same way, this Sankirtan movement is Lord Chaitanya with all his associates. It's like Krishna and the gopis in Sri Vrindavan Dham experiencing unlimited happiness in each other's company through tasting the happiness of the transcendental sound vibration of Krishna's holy name, which is not part of anything in this material world. So, and then the seed of material, people in the material world are trying to solve so many problems, but they don't know the solution. They try to solve a problem by creating another problem with their solution. Material problems and material solutions apply to material problems, as Prahlad Maharaj so strongly says, is more problematic than the problems. It creates further problems. But one who engages in the Sankirtan movement, all problems go away, and one experiences what they've been looking for millions of lifetimes, a happiness that does not decrease and it's always expanding. So material life gives you some illusion that there is enjoyment, but Krishna consciousness cuts through that illusion and shows you what real enjoyment is. And Lord Chaitanya is the conductor, he is the orchestrator. Lord Nityananda is the person who's taking that orchestration and sending it all over the world in different places. Bode Sukher Kabugai, Bodo Sukher Kabugai, Surabi Kundeche, Namera Kuleche, Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. He is Koda. Koda means merchant, broker, Vanik. He's out there selling the chanting of the holy name to anyone and everyone who has a little bit of interest. And he's saying you have to buy it, it's not free. Well, what is the price? It's not currency, it's your faith. How much faith do you have in this Sankirtan movement and in the chanting of the holy name? The more faith you have, the more you can take part in the product that's being offered. And the product is endless. It's like sometimes you'll see someone will give you a gift. It'll be a big box. And then you open the box and you cut away the ribbon, and there's another box. And then you open that box and you cut a ribbon, and then you get it, and then you find there's another box. And you keep going, and there's box after box after box, and each box is getting a little bit less. And this is just an example to show that the more you dive in deep into Krishna consciousness, the more it expands itself unlimitedly. We have to take this Krishna consciousness as our life and soul, and the chanting of the holy name as the essence to revive our real life, our spiritual life. And then we can forget about all of our problems because there will be no problems. Just like if you bring in the light of the sun, the darkness goes. In the same way, if you bring in the light of Krishna consciousness, all the darkness of material life disappears automatically without any extra endeavor. Now, this is what Lord Chaitanya is giving us, like here. But there are a class of people who even see the movement and feel unhappy because they're afraid that their material enjoyment will be threatened. They're so attached to their material enjoyment, but they don't even know what material enjoyment is. They think it is something like tasting something sweet, but Sometimes something looks very tasty and sweet, but there's no sugar in it. It just looks nice. Sometimes I've seen nowadays they make these candies. They call it natural candies without any sweetness in it. And if somebody gives you one, a cake or a pie like that, and you taste it, it looks very nice from the outside, but there's not one drop of sweetness in it. And you think, what is it? They say, well, it's very healthy. Keep your healthy thing. We don't want it. Where's the sweet taste? So, in the same way, people look for happiness in the wrong place, and all they get is just more of the same bitterness. But real happiness or transcendental happiness is the product of Krishna consciousness. And Lord Chaitanya he wants everyone to become happy. He's going this way and that way. Both Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are manifesting themselves throughout the world in different forms of themselves and orchestrating this Krishna conscious movement. Um, so it is spreading. It'll continue to spread. And it says here that when the Panchatattva sees that the whole world is now free from material enjoyment, and they become exceedingly happy, not just happy, exceedingly happy. That is love. When you see someone enjoying in such a wonderful way, you feel happy for that person. And your happiness is just as much or even more than the person who's experiencing that happiness. So the Lord is so along and with his his eternal associates, when they come to the material world and they see the living entities taking part in this Krishna consciousness and losing their taste for material enjoyment, they become exceedingly happy. And it says the great souls will experience happiness only when the whole world is taking and chanting and dancing in ecstatic love of God. This is not some eulogy, some euphemism, or some way of describing something. It is actually a reality. Devotees have been experiencing this and they're tasting it and they're delivering it to others and encouraging others to take on more and more of this. So this is Krishna consciousness. The holy name is the means by which we raise our consciousness to the transcendental platform. So everyone should be happy and take part in this Krishna conscious movement. Do whatever you can to take part and also bring others, to bring your friends, bring your family members, bring people in general into this Krishna conscious movement. Sometimes we ask people, are you happy? They say, well, not really. But then we say, here's the formula for being happy. And sometimes they say, well, what do you have? Well, we say here, this is a mantra. They say, well, it's a mantra. A mantra means it chants the mind. It elevates the mind. It uplifts the mind. And then they try it, and then they feel some change in their consciousness. And then they become inspired to continue. So there are many people out there that are just waiting, begging for that mercy to descend in their life. They don't know what it is, but when they come in contact with it, they become convinced that this is what they're looking for. Okay, and it's our business to taste it and to share it. Okay, so we'll stop there and open it up for discussion.
Thank you so much, Marge, for this beautiful class. And it's you when you were speaking, it was so sweet and so simple. Um, like you were giving the formula for becoming, inundated in the holy name and really soaking ourselves in it. Thank you so much, Marge. Wonderful. Would like to ask devotees if any questions, any comments, reflections, please do share. I think I saw something from Rajesh. Okay, yes. Um, Rajesh Solanki Prabhu is sharing this question from earlier session that could not be covered. Hare Krishna Gurmash, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It seems that only Krishna consciousness reveals the depth of developing a loving relationship with the Supreme Lord in different rasas, as friend, parent, servant, or beloved, while other religions generally describe God only as the Almighty to be worshipped with reverence and awe. Is it correct to understand that this intimate, loving relationship is unique to Krishna consciousness? And can devotees from other religious traditions who may not know Krishna personally but sincerely love God also achieve Goloka Dham or similar spiritual destination? Your humble servant Brajahari Das.
According to their level of practice and devotion, they will achieve that level on the spiritual, uh, uh, what we say, on the spiritual echelon. There are some, just like in Christianity, there is the thing called the Song of Solomon. The Song of Solomon is almost like Madhurya Ras. It's a love expression in the mood of a lover to a beloved. There is Saint Teresa of Lisieux, who taught that to become the bride of God, like that. So there's indications in other traditions, because ultimately the Vedic knowledge is the complete knowledge of spirituality. And all of these other, we might call it faith processes, we call them religions, have some connection with the Vedic culture. But that's the connection is partial, because according to time and place and circumstance, Krishna reveals the process of devotional service. So people are qualified to take up according to that level of understanding. But Lord Chaitanya has given us the highest process, and that's in the Vedas too. And that, well, just like we have relationships in this world with mother, father, friends, and lovers, well, also these are prototypes or expressions of our relationship with Krishna in the different relationships in the spiritual world. This is natural. What you see here, what we have here, is a perverted reflection of the reality. We have these relationships in this world. So where is it coming from? Ultimately, as as above, so below. It's there also in the spiritual world, but in its pure essence, without any inebrities, without any defects, without any cessation. And that is ultimately the perfection of one's spiritual practice, that they enter into their mood of loving relationship to Krishna, perfect that mood, and then go back home, back to Godhead, and achieve their spiritual body, which will exhibit that move in their service to Krishna in the spiritual world. So that's there. And you'll see indications of that in some other religions in a very, what we say, less obvious way. I mentioned two within the Christian tradition. I'm not familiar with any other traditions. But if you study the Vedas will tell you the different levels of practice of the different faith paths. Christianity is mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana. Islam is mentioned in the Bhavishya Purana. Also, all of these different other practices were started by personalities who had some spiritual acumen but taught very basic principles, that God is the supreme autocrat and we are his children. We must obey his laws, and if we obey his laws and he becomes pleased with us, then he benedicts us in so many ways with success in our life on earth. And then when we die, we go to this realm called heaven, or some kind of other name that they say. But anyway, There is some similar indications in other traditions, but the Vedic culture is the complete in details in all aspects, because it is coming from Krishna himself through his pure devotees and through the acharyas, who not only speak about it, but they have realized it in their practice of Krishna consciousness. So the Vedic tradition is the complete aspect or the complete process of spirituality in its all its diversity. Christ said to his followers, "There's so much more I could tell you, but you're not ready to hear." So, and also there's other statements in other religions about there is more, but you're not qualified to understand. Lord Chaitanya is bypassing all of these restrictions and opening up the door of eternal religious principles on the highest platform through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Now, this is unique, and this is special, special, special gift of the Lord, that one can understand who they are in the spiritual world and achieve that identity and serve Lord in that identity.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. So essentially, other religions have some aspect, but not the full details. So it's a bit dumbed down in that sense, right?
Like I mentioned, in the Bible, there's the Song of Solomon, which is about pretty
Yeah.
much in Madhurya Ras. Saint Teresa of Lisieux. Lisieux is a bit France, where she talked about becoming the bride of God.
Got it.
So you'll find indications. At least I know Christianity a little bit, but I don't know too much about other traditions, whether they're in there. But you have to understand what is their conception of the absolute truth, and what is the relationship and the process for achieving perfection in relationship to the absolute truth. You have your what they call it, uh, unabridged dictionary, and you have your abridged dictionary. Both are dictionaries, but one is more inclusive than the other. The Vedic culture is the supreme uh, manifestation of all aspects of the living entity's relationship with the absolute truth in detail, both in practice and in achievement.
Thank you. And the example is very helpful. Abridged versus unabridged
And
were
all
written.
you people might say, well, that's sectarianism, but if you do a comparative study, you can see it's understood through comparative studies.
Hope that
And
helped. Sorry, Marge.
much more to it than I can say, but that would take up the whole evening. So
No, no. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you. That helped all of us, Prabhu. Thank you for asking that question. Abhishek, Prabhu, go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, as we see in the material world, law of situation works, but not in spiritual. But still, we see that even after practicing,
the law of
yes,
what
ma'am?
work?
Satiation means to not feel that pleasure for long. Satiation.
Secular. I think this is the word he used, Marge. Secular.
No, no, satiation, law of
Satiation.
satiation.
Oh,
Satiation.
Oh,
satiation.
sorry.
Sorry.
Satiation. Okay, satiation. Okay.
Thank you, Sridevi.
Okay. In material world, the law of Satian works, but not in spiritual. But
That
still, we see that. Okay. Should I
yeah,
continue now?
yeah.
Okay. But still, after even we see that after practicing so much devotional service, we not feel that taste in chanting and doing service. But on the other hand, we see that even after getting an old, a person still have the desire to enjoy this material world. So why this is so? The law of situation is not working in that, but the spiritual thing means
It
is it
all
working?
work. People are don't plug into the activities in the proper way. Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness you can achieve Krishna consciousness in one moment, or it may take you millions of lives. It's up to you. So, well, everyone has an opportunity to take part in the process. But then again, you're carrying so much baggage into it. How much baggage we're carrying, we don't know, but we can tell. There's those who immediately take to the process and immediately they start making advancement and they're experiencing transcendental happiness and they're learning their relationship with Krishna and all about Krishna. And others, they take to the process and they stay in it, but they can't make any advancement. Why? Because they're not practicing the process properly. You have to avoid certain things. Krishna consciousness means do this and don't do this. A lot of times we allow things to come into our practice that are contrary to the practice, such as offenses, such as material desires, and such as minimizing the importance of the activity and make it seem like another activity in the material world. So it's up to the individual, but it works. In the material world, people are planning to become happy, but nobody's happy. They have hope that in the future, if they continue to make their plans and adjust accordingly, they will find happiness in due course of time. But that's hope against hope because it's never possible. Of course, Krishna explains this material world is built in suffering. You can't change that. It's just the way it works. So people in the material world are not happy. They pretend to be happy, or they work in such a way as they have hope that they will enjoy happiness. They may get a little relief from material suffering, and they call that happiness, but that's not happiness. Real happiness is something that is not dependent on anything external, but comes within the heart and mind through the activity. That you don't see in the material world. In order for people to get happy, they have to do things that are sinful, illicit sex, intoxication, various types of activities, which are destroying both their spiritual growth and their physical health. So yeah, material world is not a place of happiness. Don't get fooled thinking people are happy. They have to believe they're happy, or they have to make a show that they're happy. But otherwise, they can't continue to do it. If you tell them there's no happiness, they get angry. Or if they believe you, then they become despondent. And then they become what we call self-destructive. So yeah, just don't get fooled by the material energy.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So, for getting the spiritual happiness, we have to practice nicely and avoid offenses, right? Mhm.
Yeah, follow the process. If you follow the process carefully, you'll get the benefit. Chant the holy names, hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita daily. Associate with and serve Vaishnavas. Live in a place where there is a spiritual environment, such as a temple or a holy place. Or if you can't do that, if you're married, then create that holy place within your own home. Make it a tirtha, make it a holy place. And the last is, what is it? Worship the Lord in his deity form. These are the 5 processes that Lord Chaitanya put emphasis on, that he said, and this is a fact, that even a brand new devotee can experience transcendental ecstasy by practicing one or more of these 5 processes. Abhishek, you always try to figure out devotional service. Stop trying to figure it out and just dive into it. Then you'll get all your answers. You're too intellectually thinking in terms of doing this, doing that. You're just like you're on cause and effect. It doesn't work. You have to jump into it. You have to get into the process. You have to serve. You have to chant. You have to take part in it. Leave behind all of your conceptions of how it works, and it works if you get absorbed in it. That's all. Get off the Jnani platform and get on the Bhakti platform.
Hope that helped, Abhishek.
Yeah, just go for
Yes.
it. You're in a very good place. The temple that you're connected with is one of the most powerful temples in ISKCON. And you should be jumping and singing and happy all the time. It's one of my favorite places to go to. Because when I
Which temple
go,
is it, Maharaj?
Pune, Pune, Pune,
Oh, wow.
NVCC, what is it? And new something cultural center. I forgot what the V stands for.
Oh, he said he's from Surat. That's a pretty powerful temple there too.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not as powerful as Pune, though. Yeah,
I don't know much over there, Maharaj.
Surat is okay. There is a temple there in Surat also. A nice temple. But
But yes, Maharaj.
just dive into the process. Don't sit back and try to test the water by looking at it. You have to test the water by jumping into it. You won't drown. Even if you do drown, your drown will bring you to the highest platform of happiness. Get involved. Take part. And don't think about anything, and don't look for results. Just look to take part in the process. That's it. Forget about the results. Forget about what you're feeling or not feeling. Just get involved into the process. It works. Krishna wants to see how sincere you are. He'll reward you when he sees that you're serious about serving, about taking part in the activities of devotional service. You can't do anything to help yourself. All you can do is direct your consciousness towards Krishna and the activities of devotional service. The process works. Get out of the cave and go into the light, and then the sunshine will give you the nourishment. You stay in the cave and you wonder whether you say there's no sunshine in the cave. Of course not.
Thank you, Maharaj. And Abhishek, I think you got it.
Serve for the sake of serving. You have to serve anyway. In the material world, we're serving so many people, so many situations. Serve Krishna. That's what you're looking for. That's what you really want. Don't try to intellectualize Krishna consciousness. You'll be there for hundreds of years trying to figure it out. You'll never figure it out. You can only experience it. Then when you experience it, then you'll understand it. Okay, so I
Got
have
the
10,
message.
only have 10
Thank-
minutes. There's a temple opening in Gurugram in Delhi tonight, and
Oh,
the functions start. They already started. I'm have to be there, take part in the functions. So I have 10 more minutes, but we can squeeze in some questions between.
sure, Marge. Thank you. Yeah, so we have exactly 10 minutes, devotees. So if you have any questions, any comments, please do raise your hand or put it in the chat, and I'll be happy to read it. Marge, as you were speaking, that when you were answering Abhishek's questions, that Krishna consciousness is not cause and effect. And yes, it's it's just put your faith, in it and jump right in. And as you was answering Brajahari Prabhu's question, I was remembering, Maharaj, that how many devotees actually came from different religions because they were seeking for the higher purpose. So I'm thinking, Maharaj, that the higher purpose is because they were missing the the love aspect of God, right, Maharaj?
Well, I guess they came for different reasons, but
Mm,
that's one of the reasons.
mm,
Obviously, it is, but but I wouldn't say it's just one reason why people come.
mm. They're either inquisitive, one of the four reasons.
There's no clear conception of God in a lot of the
Mm.
other. But we know Krishna. He's a beautiful boy, plays on the flute and has a peacock feather with blue dhoti, and he is always enjoying in different ways, and he's inviting us to enjoy. Even Dostoevsky, the great what is it, Russian or German? I don't know if he was Russian or German, but he said, "Yes, a God that dances. That really makes sense."
Did he say that? Amazing.
Because he came across so many other conceptions of God. Came across Krishna consciousness. He said, "Yeah, obviously God is the supreme enjoyer, and he's enjoying also." But he's inviting us to enjoy with him. That's the point.
Amazing. That's cool. That's really neat, Marge.
God that,
Shridev, go ahead. Sorry, Marge.
God that dances.
That's a nice, actually, phrase for a book or a title or something. The God that dances. That's pretty cool.
There's another book out by one devotee in our movement. It's called Blazing Sadhus. And then and it's really an interesting book. Get a chance to read it. I read it twice. I could read it a third time, but there's a subtitle to the book, and the subtitle is "Never trust never trust a holy man who can't dance." That's the subtitle.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Marge.
Got it. When he came, he was a new devotee, and one of the first devotees in the movement met him, and he was watching Prabhupada dance, and he was looking, and then this person came over to him and said, "Never trust a holy man who can't dance."
That's interesting. That's really a really strong
Yeah,
subtitle to the book.
you should read that book. It's called Blazing Sadhus. It's really it's written by Achyutananda, who was Achyutananda Maharaj when he for many years.
Okay. I have to find that book, Marge. I have not heard of that book. So I have to find that book. Blazing
Really,
Sadhus.
it's got some really
Achyutananda Das.
interesting chapters in there, which are not found in any other place. It's really book, both history and a lot more.
It's on Amazon. Cool. Thank you, Marge. Sridevi, it's all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Hearing this verse and the purport and the wonderful explanation of how Lord Chaitanya wants the whole world to become Krishna conscious, to wants everyone to go back home, I was thinking, what does it take to become a completely pure devotee? What does it take? What kind of commitment and what kind of efforts? And then is it just our commitment and efforts, or it needs special mercy by Krishna ultimately for that to happen?
First of all, you have to want it, and then you have to try to achieve it. And then when you try to achieve it, and you give all you can towards it, in other words, body, mind, and soul, then Krishna says, oh, they really want me. Okay. So then Krishna will bestow his blessings. He gives you knowledge, he gives you intelligence, he gives you the means by which you can practice devotional service free from all encumbrances, obstacles. But you have to show Krishna you really want him. If you don't show Krishna you want him, then you can't get him. We can't be lackadaisical in this process. It doesn't work. Use your intelligence to practice Krishna consciousness. And look, utsahan, enthusiasm, nishchayat, determination, daryat, patience, tat karma pavartanam, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, sadhatiyaga, give up the association of the non-devotees, and sadhu vritti, follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These are the 6 processes or activities which fuel pure devotional service. Mentioned in Nectar Devotion, verse number 3. No, Nectar of Instructions. I'm sorry, Nectar of Instructions, verse 3.
Yes,
The whole
Guru.
read about the science and then learn how to practice it. Get inspired from the words of the spiritual master and the association of devotees.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. My obeisances.
Thank you.
Okay, one more question. Revati.
Yes, go ahead, Revati.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for this class. I wanted to understand about this real happiness. So in order to experience that real happiness, uh, I wanted to clarify if my understanding is right. Are we getting this real happiness directly from Krishna, or having a loving relationships with all the living entities? So the happiness.
It's coming. You can't have loving relationships with all living entities unless you have a relationship with Krishna. It's not possible.
Okay.
It starts there. It starts with Krishna. Krishna is the root. He's the mool of all existence. When you connect with the root, you connect with the branches, the twigs, the flowers, the leaves, everything connected to the root. Your connection with all living entities starts with your connection with Krishna. So as you develop your love for Krishna, that love will expand out to service to other living entities. Then you'll look for opportunities to serve everybody in every situation you're in. You look for a chance for service. You'll find it too. It will become so obvious. A devotee who is fixed in Krishna consciousness is always serving. Always. Constantly.
Okay, very much. Yeah. So we have to just focus on Krishna. Automatically, we develop the relationships with everyone.
Yeah, you don't focus on Krishna means focusing on Krishna and his devotees simultaneously.
Devotees.
One or the other. You can't disconnect his devotees from him and expect that it's just Krishna.
Serving the devotees.
Yeah, serving the devotees means to serve Krishna, but serving Krishna means following the instructions that the spiritual master teaches you on how to serve Krishna and what is the process for attaining Krishna.
Okay, Maharaj. Yeah. Okay, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, got it. Thank
Dive in.
you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to go.
Okay,
March,
Guru.
we are right on the 8 o'clock mark. We are right there. So we will definitely, I respect your time, Maharaj. And we thank all the devotees for answering your
Well,
questions. And thank you. Yes, Maharaj.
you guys can keep going. If
Oh,
you,
okay.
why not? You can. Yeah, you don't need to stop because of me.
That's fine. Thank you, Maharaj. Just wanted to respect your time and the devotees' times here, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We want to
Well,
thank Maharaj.
I'm sure you can keep it going. No problem.
I will try by your mercy, Maharaj. Only by your mercy. Absolutely. It's not by mine.
Okay, whatever mercy I can give you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, my
Thank you,
mercy.
Guru Maharaj.
Okay, we'll see you all tomorrow. I think. Let's see.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Please accept my
Thank you
humble
so much,
obeisance.
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Bless.
Krishna.
Thank you, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much, Guru
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Glory to Shri Prabhupada. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Sridevi,
you so much,
will you be able to do the chanting, the japa for 10 minutes?
I thought Guru Maharaj would like us to discuss a little bit more.
Okay,
And
that's fine.
devotees may
Yes,
have some.
Rajamandala, please, you may say something. Please go ahead. You can just jump right in. It's a small group now, so go ahead.
Jay, thank you, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, and all glories to all of your lotus feet. Okay, I just want to add something which came to mind, which Sri Devi Mataji asked, and obviously Guru Maharaj's answer is perfect. Of course it is. But from my experience with my father, some of you may know him, and some of you may not have. But quickly, I'll summarize that he passed away in Vrindavan on the month of Kartik in the very special area of Rasastali. And how he did that was firstly Krishna consciousness, following the instructions of the spiritual master, following instructions of Srila Prabhupada. But what he did was a few keys, the golden keys, and he left instructions for us. And that was to serve the Vaishnavas without them knowing. How and why? Why? So we don't get puffed up. So when we serve the Vaishnava, sometimes, we serve the Vaishnava and we're like, yes, I did this and I'm so great. No, not that. You serve the Vaishnava and they don't know about it. You just serve them. Somehow clean their shoes, whatever, it doesn't matter. And my father did that religiously. He'd just go somewhere and we're like, where are you going? He goes, oh, I got to go and pick up this devotee from the airport. But who is he? He goes, I don't know. He just did things like that. Another few instructions he left was never accumulate too much Lakshmi. Never offend the Vaishnavas. Keep your spiritual life simple in the sense that you can personally understand, and always follow the instructions of the spiritual master. And he did that and lived his life like that, and he counted his friends on one hand, his true friends, true friends in one hand. And Krishna took control, and that was it.
Such a beautiful sharing, Rajamandala. I mean, firstly, when you started talking about your dad, I have to say I had goosebumps, head to toe. I'm not joking right now, it's amazing. And secondly, as you were speaking about how he instructed to serve the devotees without them knowing, it reminded me about the pastime of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, when he wanted to take shelter from Lokanath Swami.
Yeah. Yes.
he had to do things behind the back because Local Swami won't accept him,
Right.
for a long time,
Correct.
So that was a really powerful example. And also when you spoke about the true friends that he could count on his fingers, that I can resonate with that because sometimes in this material world, we think that the more friends we have, the merrier. It's actually more problematic.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
that it's no, because more doesn't mean better. More means headache, And the ones that stand by you in the hardest and the hardest of all times, they are the true friend, and
Quality,
you're right.
not quantity, quality.
Exactly. So I really am so grateful that you shared this, but even more powerful that he has passed it on to you and your family.
Yeah, he left these instructions just before he left to go to Vrindavan. He knew, Sri Devi Mataji knew him very well. She knows our family very well. So he knew he was going to pass away. And I think he told Guru Maharaj, I need to speak to Gurudev about this, but he knew because he told Guru Maharaj, I didn't know this. None of us knew this. This came out after he passed, that he told Guru Maharaj, I'm not coming back. We didn't know that.
Wow.
So he had planned, he just knew. I don't know. I don't know. He just knew.
And this is another pastime that's coming to my mind is Gopal Krishna Swami. 2 years before he passed, he chose his spot for his samadhi in Vrindavan. And his disciples, one devotee was telling me, his disciple was telling me that Maharaj knew, but he didn't know when, but he chose his spot in Vrindavan for his samadhi. So these are the great souls. You are so fortunate, Rajamandala Prabhu. You are so blessed. Oh my God.
Mataji, if I could be 1% of my father, my life would be a success. I have a long way to go.
Well, I'm grateful that you are sharing this because it helps, at least for me, I can speak for myself, that it really helps me to meditate on it.
Right.
That is the
I
meditation for my day.
I actually wrote down, Rajamandal, all the things you said. Serve Vaishnavas without them knowing it. Just serve. It doesn't matter. No, nobody needs to know. Then never accumulate too much Lakshmi. That's another.
That I have to agree. That one I have to agree.
Never accumulate too much Lakshmi. He could count his friends, literally on his fingers. Few, and never offend devotees. So these are the things he lived by because I knew Rajanath. He was so humble, so humble. Never ever, he was just the epitome of real Vaishnav humility. I was just like, wow, I have so much to learn from you, no matter where and how, I would always offer obeisances. And he'd say, why are you doing this? You're not worth all this. I said, you are. That's why I'm doing it. Everywhere, wherever he was, I would just immediately, because I could see that he was a really, truly elevated Vaishnav because he was so humble, very humble, and always in the mood of service. As Braj Mandal said, he was the one who came to pick me up at the airport.
There you go, Rajamandala.
Yeah, he came. And I said, oh, you came all the way yourself? And he said, yeah, I came to get you. I said, how is everything? Well, and your mom had just, come out of a difficult time in her life. She was recovering from breast cancer and she was just coming out of all that. And still, they hosted me in their home. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah. And Prabhu
Wow.
was so kind, so nice. I started calling him daddy because I needed to have spiritual mom and dad, In ISKCON, I was feeling like, okay, here's my mom and dad. Let me call him daddy. So I really wanted to gel with him. And within a year, he was gone. So I felt Krishna was showing me something through that visit, that you don't have much time with this wonderful gentleman. make the most of it and learn from him, you know. So
You,
just an incredible personality, very, very humble.
you know, just before he passed away, or just before he left to go to Vrindavan, the day before, he calls me and he says, at that time I wasn't initiated, so it's like, Rishi, come over. I says, yes. I went, and he goes, help me, you need to fix this alarm system in the house. And I was like, why don't we just do it when you get back? He goes, no, you're gonna need it. And I didn't think where he was coming from. I didn't know, but he knew, you see.
You know, it's interesting how interesting and sad, how we take life for granted. We take each other for granted and we think it's forever, and unless it breaks down and then you start thinking life is so short. We don't know, when. And another point that is coming to my mind, Rajamandala. Firstly, I want to say that, I was thinking as you were speaking about, as Sri Devi was speaking about your father, I was thinking, wow, you must have done something in your previous birth to have chose such a wonderful family. Seriously, I mean, something you have done, some good deeds, very powerful for you to have been chosen this wonderful family. So that's my hats off to you, Prabhu. That's amazing. But because if you think about it, to be born to a devotee family, it's Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's mercy, and to such elevated parents like your dad. Wow, amazing. But I was thinking how we take life for granted, we take each other for granted until, Krishna shakes us up, you know, and puts this mirror in front of us and say, look, this is the reality, this is the
Bhakti Tita Maharaj's
yes,
Mother Pearline, she would say,
yes.
give me the flowers while I can see them.
Not after
Now,
I die.
not after I die when I cannot see anything. Give me the
And then,
flowers while I can see
yes.
them. She
See,
would
and
say
that,
that.
yes, it's true. He did, and that goes back to the point that you were saying, Rajamandala, that your dad said he could count his true friends on his fingers because those are the people that are going to give you flowers when you're alive. When you're dead, what's the use?
Right.
Right?
And
That is relationships.
to add to that, the flowers that we have right now are each other. We are the flower. Now, what we need to do is we need to serve each other, love each other more, truly, truly, truly come together. And this will make Guru Maharaj happy.
Yes. Yes.
Because if
You
we
know,
can do
yeah.
we can do that truly from our heart, not superficially. If you're going to do it superficially, don't try later on. But if you can do it truly, do it from your heart, and you will see things blossoming. That's one thing I learned from my father's instructions. And I try to practice this every day.
You know, Rajamandala, you touched on a point that I have been meditating in my service for the past 8 years, I have to say, because as Kali Yuga is progressing, Sakshi, I have not forgotten you. I'll definitely come to you. I have been meditating and realizing, how this material world, and it happens amongst devotees, not just in the non-devotee community, that we don't make time. Either we don't make time or there's this fear of hold on one second. Okay. There's this fear of wanting to build relationships with devotees, like really true, because I come from a training from my spiritual master where we are a crazy bunch of family members, and he always says, and I remember his words, and I'm sure Sri Devi also might remember, in order to succeed in Krishna consciousness, you have to be crazy. If not, it's not gonna work. You got to be crazy, So I grew up in ISKCON being crazy, because that's how you survive in Krishna consciousness. But that is the loving aspect, of building relationships. But at the same time, I feel, like I've been meditating for the past few weeks now. How do I break this barrier in my congregation to be crazy? There's nothing wrong, you know? Love one another, like
Okay.
it's okay to be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong because we are family, right? It's
Right.
okay to be fearful. That's nothing wrong. We are family. It's
Right.
okay to be whatever because when, it's like living in a household or family, we know each other's quirks and goods and bads but that's what keeps us bounded. But that's the same thing in a spiritual family, Like I know, like me and my God sisters, like even though I don't see them so much, but when I see them, we pick up where we left off, like time never separated. That's family, and it's so sweet. Like like Sri Devi knows, when I connect with Achuta, my God sister Chintamani, we are all in 50s and almost 60s, and we act like a crazy bunch. And people will think is like, are you 25 or are you 65? Because this how it
Right.
is. But that's
Right.
family,
Yeah.
and I think that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. It keeps us together, and that will make our spiritual masters so happy, and also it rubs off on each other. We were able to like what you were sharing with your dad, we are able to do the small things with for each other without expecting or knowing. Just that building relationship part, I think it's really, really important because, you know, Prabhupada built a whole house. I mean, build a house where the whole world can live in. Come on, right? That's family. But yeah, if
And when we work through issues, we actually grow closer.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely, Sri Devi. And I think that is the point that I feel if we can really believe in the process, and believe that melting down, breaking down, fearful, opening, I was when I came to the Farmington Hills, I think when I had the Vaishnavi Sangha, I was telling the Matajis, and even in one of my classes, I said, we got to open the dirty laundry and clean it. There's nothing wrong in that. We got to open the closet, because when we keep building stuff in the closet is one day is going to burst open and then it's going to come crashing down. So it's so important that we, like Sri Devi said, when we work through issues, it really brings us closer. I strongly believe in that. Completely believe in that because I've experienced it.
It's a
Right.
fact.
He said
It's a
that
fact.
Maharaj said many things, and 4 principles of community building,
Yeah.
4 principles of conflict resolution. In that, he said, see every interaction as a cry for love or a gift of love.
Mm.
And then many things, that are very important for us to progress in our own bhakti as well as progress together. Because when we progress together, then that's real progress. We cannot be lone rangers and, expect to move up. We have to move together. So for me, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's lessons, conflicts are actually an opportunity, clarify perceptions and create synergy. You
It
actually come
is.
closer
It
through
is.
working through those issues.
Yep.
So I just try to keep, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's principles in mind whenever I have to interact with people. I try. I don't always succeed, but I try.
Mm.
It's powerful because just by Rajamandala sharing about his dad so openly, so sweetly, and like I said, I was having goosebumps. I said, geez, I just feel like I'm connected with you, Prabhu, because just by you sharing about your dad, that that's family. You just shared and that's how we lock into each other.
You know
And
what
that's
Krishna
what
does? You know what Krishna does? Is I'm sure most of you have experienced this, and maybe some of the younger ones haven't, but you will. Is what Krishna does. He takes away people from you, family. Certain people, he just moves out of the way. And here we are, we have this spiritual family, this true family. So this is where I feel personally very safe. And I don't know, like I opened up last week, Sri Devi Mataji, my dearest God brother, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu. You know, I was on the phone to them because I'm going through something, but I feel safe here amongst my God brothers and sisters and this family. I feel safe, and I know I can be my true self
That's the
because I'm not going to
beauty
be
of
judged. Because I'm not going to be judged.
right.
That's the point. I'm not going to be judged. You will all give me a hug and say it's all right. What can we do? Let's do this together. Krishna's here. Let's work together. This is what we need.
This is exactly this is the beauty, you know, that we want non-judgmental relationships because that's what's going to make us survive in Krishna consciousness. That's what's going to make us even survive in this crazy material world that we're stuck and want to get out. Forget even Krishna consciousness. Even in the material world, we are fearful to be judged, you know, and we don't want to be judged. Like there was one devotee I had in, you know, I still have in my temple, and he is a disciple of Jayapataka Swami, young guy. And I think during COVID, Prabhu, during COVID, you know, he was told right before COVID, actually, he was told by a couple of the devotees, you know, don't go to Anasuya. This is the honest truth I'm saying. Don't go to Anasuya because I don't think she will understand you. And because that devotee has issues with me because he cannot accept leadership because I'm in a female body. But that's a whole different story right there. So this devotee took a chance. During COVID, he had no one to go to. He was miserable. He was at the verge of committing suicide.
Oh dear.
I'm not joking. He had the verge of committing suicide. He took a chance the first few months of COVID. He came to my house and says, Mataji, I need to talk to you. I said, okay. We literally spent 8 hours in one day. 8 hours. We walked the whole environment where we lived, the whole development, and he stayed at my house and we talked. And at the end, he cried, and I asked him. I said, "What made you take a chance with me to open up your heart? Because two guys told you don't go to Anasuya." He says, "I don't know, but I somehow knew that what they were telling me is their stuff, and I had to come to you because I needed someone to trust." I said, okay. And he opened up. He was having issues with suicide, with pornography, you name it. He was so scared to tell me what he was going through. And when he told me what he was going through, I just said, okay. He says, that's it, mother. I said, okay, big deal. He says, I'm not a demon. I said, who said you're a demon? I said, we're going to walk through this journey together. And I remember one point he called me at 9 o'clock at night. He says, Mother, I have a knife in my hand. He says, help me. And he lives like 40 minutes from me. I said, we're going to stay on the phone. You're going to put the phone knife down. And I just gave him a lot of love. And I said, you're going to drive in the car. You got your keys? Yes. So you're going to drive to the hospital and we're going to stay on the phone. And we did. And he got over it. Like, because he felt non-judgmental, you know, and he went through a lot. It took me 4 years to get him out of that phase, you know. Now he's one of my best preachers.
That's the
Best
power.
preachers.
Yeah.
Because
Sakshi
he
has been
felt,
waiting a long, long, long time, and Soumya Dhatri also raised her hand but
oh,
lowered
sorry,
it.
Sakshi, go ahead. Thank you, Sri Devi. And then we'll come to Soumya. Sakshi, go ahead.
Thank you,
Rajmangala,
Prabhu.
thank you. No, thank you. I must thank you, Prabhu. No, please, Sakshi, go ahead. We want to hear you. We guys can go on all day and all night. Okay, let me see what she's saying and I can read it out. Um, I had to follow up with what Revati Mataji asked Maharaj. He answered that when we have a loving relationship with Krishna, that spreads in a loving relationship with other living beings. My question is, until we develop that pure relationship with Krishna, what should our attitude be with other living entities? I think from my teachings, I'm meaning how I was raised, how I was taught by my seniors and my spiritual master, is to see Krishna even in those living entities, to develop that relationship. For example, I'll use very simple day-to-day activities, right? For example, um, when we correct our children, it's not like we hate them. It's not like we don't like them. We love them, right? We love them, and that's why we correct them. So we do have love. The thing is that we do have love for the living entities. We do have love for our neighbors. We do have love even for the beggar on the street. We do. It's just that it has been covered up, so it has to be peeled off like an onion. I hate to use that example, but it's might be we gotta peel that onion. We gotta peel it off, and slowly see, oh, I do care for that person, Oh, I do care for this person. Oh, I do care, for so and so. We when we start to see or we start to develop that consciousness to see Krishna in other living entities, Krishna will start to blossom in front of our eyes, lack of a better word, because each one, including myself, we have this covering of ignorance. We are blinded by this ignorance. And going back to my spiritual master's teachings is, it's important that we develop loving relationships with others, with everyone, because through that loving relationships, we can see Krishna. You know, it's going to be a challenge to develop relationship with Krishna, and then we don't like devotees. That it goes hand in hand. And if we go back to the Bhagavad Gita, right, Krishna says, if you serve my devotees more than me, I'm very happy. He is very pleased. So the more we serve the Lord's devotees, the more the love blossoms. When the love blossoms for the devotees, the love will blossom for Krishna also. So that is how I was taught by my spiritual master. So, Sridevi, would you like to add?
I was thinking exactly, along the same lines that everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. Every soul is a child of Krishna. Even the demons are dear to Krishna. What to speak of devotees? So how much we must be cognizant of the fact that even Krishna declares that the devotees are dearer to me than my own life. So I think our attitude towards other devotees should be that, how can I serve you? How can I help you? What can I do to make, things better for you? Like what you did with this young, I don't know how old he was, that man. You just took it on yourself to be a good friend, to listen to him, to hear him out, and to be with him when he was in a crisis situation. So all those call for genuine compassion, empathy, understanding, and dedication to the order of the spiritual master. So these are not very easy things, not at all. And in the beginning, we struggle so much, with our own anarthas and our own challenges. But if we constantly strive towards that goal of being in the mood of humble servitorship, then I think that Guru and Krishna's mercy will help us even when it's difficult.
Such a nice point. Such a nice point. It's so true, that we're part and parcel of Krishna. Absolutely. That's, and I think when we start seeing that and understanding that, it helps, as Sridevi said. Very, very, very nice point. Thank you, Sridevi. I hope that helped. Go ahead, Sridevi, go ahead.
Sakshi. Sakshi, is that helpful, Sakshi?
Sakshi, thank you. Yes.
We don't know what. Yeah, that's really
That's
okay.
really very helpful, she says. Thank you. Okay. And Soumya had a question, then I'll come to Revati.
Yeah, Soumyadatri raised her hand, but then she lowered it.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know.
I did see that.
And Tirtha Kirti Mataji is online. She's our
Oh,
89
yes.
70,
Amazing.
80-year-old god sister who has joined us in the call.
She is amazing. She is my
Very
inspiration
Krishna
when I see
conscious.
her. Oh my
Very
God,
Krishna conscious.
seriously.
Amazing,
When I see
amazing.
her, when I see her, it reminds me of Mother Indrani.
Ah,
Seriously, it really does. Yeah. Schizomia is must probably be busy. So let me take Revati's question. What should be our attitudes towards non-devotees? Top one. How should we have that loving relationship with them? I will, what's coming to my mind as soon as I read that question, Revati, what's coming to my mind is kindness and compassion. I remember in 1997, I think, or was it 99? I think it was 99, when there was this Columbine High School shooting. Sridevi, do you remember that incident? In 99, this huge incident, it really shook up. That was, I think, the first terrorist attack, in
Sandy
America.
Hook? You're talking about Sandy Hook?
No,
California?
Columbine High School shooting in Denver, in
Columbine. Okay.
Colorado.
Okay. That
That
was the
one,
next
yeah,
one.
the first one, yeah. And I remember the whole world was shooken up, especially in America. And I remember at that time, my spiritual master was coming out of traveling back from one of his world tours and coming back to Gitanagri. And he had a darshan with all of us. And he was very, very affected by that incident. I mean, I have never seen him that affected. And I remember at the end of the discussion, he was so affected by the number of kids that was shot and killed. He didn't know the kids. That's no relationship. He didn't know any of them, but he was torn apart inside. He was torn apart. And we were wondering, my goodness, Gurudev, you're thinking, oh, you don't know them. You're so affected. But that's the heart of a pure devotee, right? But many devotees asked questions, about the same question you asked, Revati. And he said, show kindness and compassion. And he gave examples, he said, and I remember this example very well. He says, when you are standing in the line at the cash counter in a grocery store and you see someone in front of you, all you have to say is, good morning, how are you? That's it. He said, you show kindness. If they don't show, you show kindness. Don't bring yourself down to their level. Be compassionate. And he says, if you turn around and you see someone standing behind you in the line, just say, how do you do? With a smile on your face. He says that can break the ice and build a little bit of relationship. And I remember when I used to go to a Sheetz gas station, and I used to drop my kid off at class at that time. I always had to stop by this gas station to put gas, and I always had to go pay. And somehow there was this 90-year-old lady who was the cashier behind the register. Somehow we became friends. And one time, it was Christmas time, and I told my daughters to make Christmas cookies as prasadam, and she loved it. She gave it to her neighbors. So for non-devotees, we can start with kindness. I won't even go to compassion. That would be great. But if we can break it with kindness, that's a good start. And then later on go to compassion. That's what I can share from what I was taught by my spiritual master. Would you like to add, Sri Devi?
Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly, because those are the only two things we should actually have. We cannot afford to enter into a loving relationship with them. Sorry, that's not possible. That's not advisable. Why? Because once we have a loving relationship, we will get infected by their mentality, their thinking. In fact, we are not supposed to take their association. We just give our association to them. So therefore, there's no question of a loving relationship, Revati. We can only show kindness and compassion towards them. And try to be, the best example of how a devotee should be. That's all we can do. I'll tell you, in my own case, I, being a very friendly person in the early days of my Krishna consciousness, this was around 2008 or 9, I joined a clinic. just after my PhD, and I became very friendly with the people over there. They were all non-devotees, all non-devotees. I was constantly trying to bring prasadam to them, tell them about Jagannath, tell them this, tell them that. And then one fine day, the lady turned around and she was so rude. And so I was shocked. And finally, it became so bad, I had to leave that clinic. And then later on, I was just thinking, oh my God, what just happened? It was Krishna breaking that bond. Why? Because I had reached the point where I was thinking, now that, if a hurricane happens, I have to give them shelter in our temple, I have to make arrangements. I had got that involved with them, you know. And so it was like I was treating them like they were devotees, but they were not. And they had become very inimical towards me because I'm a devotee. And so Krishna just broke that whole relationship, sent me packing. And then I realized we cannot afford to be loving with them, Revati. I learned it the hard way. So I don't want you to go through that painful experience.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Ansuya Mataji. Thank you, Sridevi Mataji, for clarifying this. Yeah, so we can still show the kindness, but not try to develop a loving relationship. Yeah.
Be cautious. See, the thing is that, one devotee asked my senior god sister, Rajalila, many years ago, and she said, you want to give them your association, you don't take the association. It's a very fine line, very, very fine line. Because once we start developing loving relationships with non-devotees, like what Sridevi said, it can be pretty, it's a it's a catch 22, unless you can make them into a devotee. That's great, but if you can't, just be a well-wisher.
Yes.
Give the
Can I add
Mahaprasad. Please, go ahead.
Can I add something to that? That analogy
Please.
you've given is like, when we have a bowl of hot milk and that 1 teaspoon of dahi or yogurt, you put into it, the whole thing becomes yogurt, right? So what we do, we have to always be cautious. It's actually detrimental to your health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your spirituality, everything. It's just complete. It's like poison. So the best thing you do, I practice this, and you can do it too, my dear God brothers and sisters. In my pocket, here it is. What's that? Nishingadev oil.
Nashringa oil.
Joy.
Don't leave home without it. So
Sure.
what I do, I some of you might know, I work in the community as a physio. But what I do is I unbottle that in my pocket, I paste it on my hand, and I say to the patient, don't worry, you'll be okay. And they get some Nishingadev oil. Or my colleagues, I shake their hand in the morning. I do something like that, or bring fruit to the office, offer the fruit. They're eating prasadam.
Yes.
That's how we do
That
it.
is called, what comes to my mind, Rajamandla? He reminds me of this phrase that my Gurudev always says, spiritual espionage. That's I have to put that out. That's exactly what it is.
Cool.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You are giving Krishna in a spiritual espionage way. That's how it is. Yeah. But it's so true. I love that. I really do. We give prasadam. We give some form of mercy, Thank you, Sri Devi. We give some form of mercy, but we don't take the association.
No.
Unless they want to become a devotee and they come to the temple and do all that, but never take the association. We cannot be best friends with non-devotees. And I'll be very honest with you. You can I know because most of my family members are non-devotees, majority of them. And when I became a devotee, of course, there was definitely a separation, and I don't regret it because it's like for me, when I joined Krishna consciousness, I mean, I was disowned by my own parents and my family completely for like 4 years, and I was very young. I was disowned by my family, and I think, yeah, for 4 years, but I never cried. And I'll tell you why I didn't cry. I'll tell you, Raven, I was very young, newly married, 21 years of age, right? Because in place of my material family, Krishna gave me devotees. What else do I need? Not one sister, he gave me so many god sisters. He gave me so many god brothers. He gave me an awesome spiritual father. What more do I need? So in fact, I'll be honest, when my mother, honest truth, I hope I'm not recorded, honest truth, when my parents found out that I was living in Gitanagri, because when they disowned me, they didn't know where I was. I was scared. I was scared because I didn't know what they would do. And I remember going to my spiritual master and I said, Gurudev, my parents are looking for me and they found me. And he says, are you happy? And I said, no. I said, no. He says, are you afraid? I said, yes, because I was happy with all you guys and now they're coming to the middle of the picture. Honestly, I'm being honest truth with you. He says, Anusia, don't worry, I'm here. You just do this, 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 this. And I followed his instructions of how to deal with my family. And when my mother passed away a few years ago, I didn't cry. My father was so mad at me, and he said to me, cry. I said, I can't. Because I knew she was dying. 9 months before, I knew she was dying. 6 months before, she was in Alzheimer's. She didn't recognize me. And my father was so mad. He says he was so mad at my mother, who was a dementia patient. I said, why are you getting mad at her? She doesn't recognize me. He felt so bad. I was happy. I was fine. I know that sounds crazy, Rajamandala. I was fine because I accepted the fact, because Krishna has given me the whole ISKCON as my family.
I get it.
I have. That's the beauty. So we got to be very careful with developing, building friendship with non-devotees. We give our association, but we do not ever take the association. It's a very fine line, and we got to recognize it.
Sometimes Krishna will teach you, though. You know how like a mother or father needs to teach their child? You want to go and burn your hands in the fire? Well, go on then, right?
Go burn. Yep.
Sometimes that happens, Revti Mataji, that you just don't realize. You just think, yeah, no, I'm okay. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm chanting. And you're associating, and you actually don't realize. And then you get burned.
Yeah.
So we have to always be cautious, because that fire can consume you. And before you know it, 10 years have gone. You've got to be careful.
Always be in devotee association. So when you fall, there is some, the few friends that you can count on your fingers, have very few. When he was saying it, I only have two, and I'm very content. I am so content. I am so content. I said, thank you, Krishna. Because, honestly, I don't even like going to do my groceries at Indian store because the people know me. But I hate to go there because who are you? I don't want to deal with all that thing. I just got only two friends and I'm very happy. I'm so happy. So I go to the grocery shop, Indian store when they open, because there's nobody there, just me and the owner, and that's it. I'm happy. Because the thing is, too many, it just it disturbs our spiritual life. It really it's always best to be in spiritual association, develop really deep loving relationships, because you can be yourself. Of course, not everybody in the ISKCON community can accept you, like what Brajman said. Just a few friends, 2, 3, where you can be yourself and you're not going to be judged. If you do something wrong, big deal. We will walk this journey together. If you fall, okay, we'll pick you up. Open that dirty closet. But to expect that from a non-devotee, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Absolutely. Yes, Rajamanda. And then we'll come to you, Rajadana. I have not forgotten you.
I think, correct me if I'm right or wrong here. I think in the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says that you should have one true friend or more, but one true friend that you can tell everything to,
Exactly.
A to Z. Because if you have that person, that is like gold. That is like this, just honestly, because then you know you can be free and that person can help you.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave it there. Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. That one person, where they will not judge you. They just won't, and they understand. It's all about the heart. It's all about loving relationships. It's great that we do so many services. It's great that we do so many pujari services. It's great that we give out 1,000 books of book distribution. It's great that we do all that. It's great that we chant 16. All that is wonderful. But if we do not have the loving relationship where we can be ourselves and where we can lean on someone and someone is not going to judge me no matter what it is, then all that is just for show. Krishna wants the heart. He doesn't want that show. Not at all. It's all about the heart. And that's why it's so important, that we develop loving relationships, just one. Just start with one. But it's got to be a devotee, not a non-devotee. Even when devotees need counseling, I always tell them, do not go to a karmi counselor. They will never understand what we do. They're like, why do you chant? Waste of time. That's what they're going to tell you. That's why you're not giving time to your marriage because you're chanting too many rounds. That's what they're going to tell you. We need devotee counselors, devotee therapists, not karmis. They will never understand because why? We are crazy. We have to be crazy in Krishna consciousness. I hope that helped, Revati.
Yes, Mataji. I was just thinking, I really like one point which you said. I think I was trying to have a loving relationship with my extended family, which I think probably I'm doing something wrong over there. We should be kind, but we should not expect any loving relationship with them. I think
Yeah.
looking for that, so I should not look for that contact.
Yeah.
I
See,
should have.
because we naturally, and I think it goes back to the Indian culture where we have been ingrained in our minds. Family is your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunts, your grandpa, your grandma, and that's it. It doesn't go outside of that. We have been ingrained with that. That's unhealthy. Is actually unhealthy dependence. Very unhealthy dependence. Krishna gave us the whole house. Prabhupada gave us more than that. Prabhupada left his family. I mean, when he came to America, when he started the movement, he said, he said, my disciples are my gurus. You are my children. Prabhupada said that, right? So Prabhupada is teaching us from his instructions, from his words, that no, our family is not just my extended family. Our extended family is not going to understand us, no matter how much we try. And the more we try, we get more hurt. And I'm sure you are going through that, The more we try, the more we get hurt because they're not going to understand us. It's the devotees, that one special friend, one special friend that will take us as I am. As I am. Very important point. And sometimes we think, oh, but the family knows me more than a devotee. Well, think of it this way, Revati. When we leave our bodies, when we go to Goloka Vrindavan, whenever we go to Goloka Vrindavan, we don't know who our buddies are going to be up there. It can be anyone. It's not going to be my mom and dad, you know? So Krishna is forcing us to build our real relationships here with the devotees so that when we go to Goloka Vrindavan, everybody is dear to us. Making sense, Revati? Yeah? Yes, Vrajamandala, go. And then we'll come to Vrajajana and then Krishna Kaviraj.
I just wanted to tell Revati, Devi Dasim Mataji that I'm in a similar boat to you, actually. Believe it or not, I'm in a similar boat. Like I'm trying to get I've been trying to get my mother-in-law, my father-in-law to accept me as a Hare Krishna and as a devotee. And for 15 years, I've tried and failed. And it's broken my heart. And that was why I was in such pain the other week. So some of you might have been online. I was in such pain, whoever was there. So I can really, really, really resonate, because I was feeling the same way you were feeling. I was in tears. I was not happy. It really upset me to the core. And it still is. I'm not sleeping. It's affected my health. I'm going through a lot, but Krishna is so kind. He's so kind that just recently he opened my eyes. And I was able to just say, okay, I'm all right. Let's just leave it as that, because the 9th offense on the holy name is don't preach to faithless people, right? What am I doing?
Yep.
What am I doing? I'm not understanding the instruction is what I'm doing, right? So it's actually on me. So I've taken a step back. I'm very respectful. And I left it there. And I did that on Diwali. I gave garlands. I done what I could, and I left it there. And I'm now moving forward.
Yep.
You'll be all
Beautiful,
right.
Rajamandala.
You'll be all right, Mataji. Don't worry. Krishna will help you.
You'll be all right. You will be just fine. Just as
You'll
how
be
Rajamandala switched, you just got to switch your gear.
Thank you. Thank you,
Just
Prabhu.
got to
If you
change
if
the
you need
rail
to
track.
reach
That's
out,
it.
Mataji, if you need to
Yes.
reach out, I'm here, okay? Because I'm going through it myself. So don't feel shy or don't feel you can't. I'm here, of
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yes.
course.
You have such a wonderful God brother who's walking through the same journey. He can definitely pull you out of it. He's going to
We'll do
walk the
it
journey
together.
with you.
We'll do it together. Reach out if you
Yep.
need, okay? Yeah.
Please, Revati, reach out to him and walk the journey, and you'll be fine at the end. Thank you. Rajajana, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Accept
glories to
mine.
Srila Prabhupada,
Jai.
Guru Maharaj.
Hari Hari
This is
Bol.
a wonderful satsang. Thank you very much. I had a question
Thanks to
that
Rajamandala. He started it and it just kept rolling, and I'm enjoying it.
and it's my question was already answered in this
Okay.
conversation. It was about to understand, I'm new in Krishna consciousness, and to understand exactly when you say a devotee or a non-devotee, in which way you express who is a devotee and who is not a devotee. And I think I understood the point, because the fact that I am new, of course, I got in these 2 years, I got so attached to the devotees, because it's an incredible family. But I have friends from my past life, and to be and to understand what is to give association but not to take association.
Yeah.
I think I could understand something there. So thank you very much, and I don't know, this is wonderful. So
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, because I went through that too, even when, I think 15, 20 years ago, all my high school friends found me and started reaching out to me. They want to connect, they want to connect, they want to connect. So I accepted their request, and after a few years, I rejected it. It was just not my cup of tea. They were posting things, and I got so tired. In fact, also eliminated a lot of my relatives on my mother's side. It was just nothing but just nonsense. On my father's side, like right now, it's uh, you will see that as you start growing in Krishna consciousness, all the externalities don't matter. If anything, they're in the way. You will feel it yourself naturally that this is blocking. I need to click it out. That's blocking. I need to click it out. So it just it'll happen, and when you feel that, that means Krishna is saying, get it out. And so I've removed, I've cut off so many relationships, high school and relatives and cousins and this and that. I mean, quite a bit, because at the end of the day, it's the devotees. They will be the only one that will understand you. And they will be the only ones by your bedside when we are dying. And they'll be the only ones chanting the holy name in our ear, not the family members, not even the high school friends. So as we grow in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will start showing us which is important, which is not. And those that are non-devotees, because the thing is, the non-devotees, Krishna's in their heart. It's just covered up. And they're dormant, they are ignorant, whatever. So all you can do is just be kind. That's it. Just
It
be
was
kind and leave it at that. Yeah,
it was very nice. I met an old friend. She is a very, very dear person to me, because I learned lots of things from her. And I met her after several years, a few months ago. And when she was very interested in my changes and my new life. And she explained to me that she knew the devotees before, and it was wonderful. And she remembered she used to take prasadam with the devotees, because it was something like that devotees that she knew were the fathers-in-law from her daughter, but in a very young
Yes.
relationship. This her daughter was dating this boy, the son of a couple of devotees. So they
Okay.
shared some for a period of time, and she remembered when I told her about for example, the chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and this Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. I remember that. I remember that. She told me it was incredible. So that is very nice, because I understand. And with other persons that doesn't happen. So it's important to be focused
and clear,
understand
focus and very
yes,
clear. Yes,
what
very
is
focused and be very clear, the boundaries, very clear. And sometimes what I always tell, especially new devotees, that if we are not clear, it's very, very important that we have a spiritual mentor. Everyone needs a spiritual mentor, especially in the early phases of a devotional life. But everyone needs it for the rest of their lives. I mean, even if you look at the sannyasis, even Candramauli Swami, every gurus, they have god brothers that they go to. Just because they're sannyasis, it doesn't mean like they don't consult with anyone. No, all the sannyasis, all the senior proper disciples, they have someone that they go to bounce back and ask questions. And what do you think? I'm thinking about this. Is it okay? So they have someone. So they are setting the example for us how important it is that we also have spiritual mentors that we can lean on and ask, for the rest of our lives. So when we are not clear, when the mind starts playing games, that's when we know, okay, I need help. I better reach out to a senior devotee or my spiritual mentor or, whoever, and get clarity so we know where we have to, so that it gets clear in our minds. But that's a very nice point, Vajrayana. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I
Krishna
love
Kaviraj?
when
Yes.
I'm sorry. I love when you
No.
say we have to be crazy, and I think and I think we
Because
are.
I ain't crazy. My Gurudev made me crazy, made all of us crazy. So yeah.
And
Because say Krishna, if
understand.
you think of because he says, because we worship a God who is blue, we worship a God who loves to dance, and he has a flute and a peacock feather, and he has Radharani and so many girlfriends. We are crazy, right? He's amazing, right? He sneaks out at night. Yeah, we are crazy. I mean, that's the only way we can survive, is to be crazy. And it's fun to be crazy with the devotees. It really is fun. I have to say that.
It
Thank you,
is
Brajajana.
it is sweet. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Anasuya.
No
Hare Krishna.
problem. Krishna Kaviraj, I have not forgotten about you, Prabhu. Please.
Actually, I'm okay, thank you. Sometimes I think somebody says something, I think, I have a question. And then like 5 minutes later, I feel like Krishna's going, what are you asking that question for? I showed you the answer just the other day and I made you experience it. Why are you asking this stupid question now?
Because we all can learn from it. That's why.
Mm.
Please, Prabhu. Go
I
ahead.
have the answer. But it was, I can't remember, I think it might have been Rajamandala Prabhu saying like, you just go out and find someone, and you're also talking about find someone who will just listen, hear you out, non-judgmental. And I say, yeah, well, there's loads of devotees that will just hear, but how many are there that will actually get me? Because so many devotees I speak to, and they're like on a different wavelength completely. They're like, and they will try and help, but they're just on a completely different wavelength. I can't connect, they can't connect on that particular topic anyway. And then it's like, how do you find someone that actually gets you, understands you? And it seems to be like you go here and there and there. Like, I can't find anyone. Everyone's looks like, am I the only person that's on this different wavelength? Am I just like super crazy or something? And then someone just pops out of nowhere and like, yeah. Actually, two god brothers popped out of nowhere. And
One of them is Rajamandala. You're
and the
so
other
fortunate.
one, yeah.
That's amazing. I think, Prabhu, is when we have the yearning, the desire, for the right person to pop up in our lives that will not, where we will have a non-judgmental relationship, Krishna makes the arrangement.
And
We just got to,
yeah.
Sometimes we have to do some scanning, some scouting, on a very um, minute, small way, rather than jump in the river, put one toe in first with that person and kind of scout and scan, ask like very basic questions, very simple, and then you will know based on the answer that person is the one or not, But I always tell devotees, if you want to find out the right person, first don't go head in, don't dive in, put the toe in first and then get yourself a little bit wet and then scout and scan and ask the questions, and based on the response you will know, then put the second toe in, and by the third toe you will know, okay, should I dive in or should I pull out, and you kind of will sense. And for some relationships it just takes not even asking the person, just by hearing them, you will know, yeah, this person is cool. You know, he or she is not going to judge me because he or she is as crazy as I am, you know, because that's just what it's all about, you know. That is what it means to have devotee relationship. And not everybody's going to be on that same level, but you know, my Gurudev gave a class many years ago. I think it was 1999 or 2000, and I think it might be recorded. He says, "Who you are is what you attract." So if you're crazy, you'll attract a crazy devotee. And that's great. Krishna will arrange it, you know. And if we're boring, we attract boring devotees, you know. If we are messed up, we attract messed up devotees. If we're not serious, and I've seen all this, you know. Sometimes I used to wonder, why does that devotee hang out with this person and they're both not serious? And I said, yeah, duh, Anasia, because they're not serious, so that's why they attract each other. Because they're both not serious. You know, it's that magnet thing, you know. So yeah, because you attracted the right devotees, Rajamandala and the other devotee, because that's your nature. Krishna made the arrangement, you know.
Just to
Yeah,
add,
please.
within the 10 minutes of speaking to Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, I knew it. I knew it. I'm
That
not
you both are
even
crazy, huh?
I just, as soon as I spoke to you, Prabhu, I was like, ding. I just knew it.
Yep.
It's just one of those
That's all
things.
it takes. That's
I
all
just
it
knew.
takes, Prabhu. Yep. Just that short exchange, that short reciprocation, you know. That's, I have to say, you know, Krishna Prabhu is the first time I heard your questions in the classes. I knew you were down to earth. I know we didn't have any exchanges, but just by your questions and your thoughts and the way you would phrase your questions, and especially when I read a couple of your poems, I knew by then that you are one that someone can have a relationship with no judgments because you're so down to earth and you're cool and you're crazy like one of us. I just knew it from the bat. Like, yeah. So I can definitely resonate and relate to
Yeah,
Rajamandala's
I have a
point, you know.
question. I was going to ask Rajamandala Prabhu privately.
Well, there you go, he's right here.
It's not that kind of thing that you don't want to hide from anyone. So I could just ask now, because you know, like you were saying that you I just remembered a minute ago. No, I've forgotten. I just remembered it one moment ago.
Prabhu, it's called aging process. Join my club.
Probably. Yeah. I will probably remember later.
And I always tell devotees my club is free membership, you know. That's join my called aging process. I go through it all the time. So whenever you remember Prabhu, you can always send me a message. Or Rajamandala, he's right there too. Since you both are buddies.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely can resonate with my dear god brother. And we're very similar in our own way. So I like it. It's but that's Krishna, you see, that's how Krishna works. A blade of grass doesn't flicker in the wind without Krishna making it happen. What to speak of me and you?
So
I know I remember.
Go ahead.
You prompted my memory. You know the instruction, you serve the devotees secretly.
Yes.
And I remember you didn't tell me the whole story previously. You told me the bit about serve the devotees without telling them. You didn't tell me the background to it at that point. And I've been doing this thing recently where I like intensely pray for devotees, and I'm thinking, but Prabhu said do it secretly, so don't tell them. And then I'm thinking, do I tell them? Do I not? And then the first time I'm just going to tell them and see what happens. And then the first few times I told them, and I was just like gobsmacked by what their response is, because there was like, these were devotees that were like going through serious stuff. And they were like so so happy to hear that I was intensely praying for them, and they were like, told me what was going on. I was like, I had no idea. They appear like everything's fine, everything's beautiful, and it's just like, and then the next person said there's a different story, but they were going through, and then the next person, and then I was thinking, like, I know Prabhu told me to keep it secret, but if it's helping them by telling them, then
Yeah.
I have to tell them. And then I changed. I'm thinking, I don't even, and I wasn't choosing the devotees. I was praying to Srila Prabhupada saying, please indicate to me which devotee I should. And then I go under a contact list on my phone saying up and down, say, Prabhupada, please tell me when to stop. And then, please tell me, say, come on, please tell me. And then eventually, and then they even told me the reason why Prabhupada picked them.
Wow.
Your circumstance is different, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu. The type of service you're doing for the devotees is unique and particular. And I think for you to tell them afterwards, that's the where they say the penny dropped. That's that bit which is crucial. And I think you're right. I think you're on the money with that one, where you should be telling them that. But after, the only thing I would say is in that whole scope of it, when you get a hug or glorified, we cannot let that get to our heads, because we are very neophyte. We're very neophyte. And as soon as things like that, it's like that analogy I gave you with like yogurt and milk. As soon as that teaspoon of yogurt goes in that milk, the whole thing turns to yogurt. So we just got to be a little bit mindful. But I think like I said, I think your particular service you're doing for the Vaishnavas is unique and particular, and they do need to know. Yeah. It's really sweet. Beautiful.
Because if they don't know, based on, sometimes people wonder who's thinking about me. Is anyone even caring about me?
Does anyone care, right?
Yes, because at that stage, people want to feel that someone cares about me. And if they know someone cares about me, it's like, thank you, Krishna, because even by that, they can see Krishna's hand. You are giving them an opportunity to see Krishna's hand by you letting them know that someone cares about me. It's so important. And it's all about that compassionate caring, like someone cares about me, someone cares about, like the other day, Malati Prabhu, the proper disciple Malati Prabhu, she sends me a message from Govardhan Eco Village. And she says, Anasuya, I heard about Parikshit. What happened to Parikshit? And I'm like, how does she know? She's all the way in India and he's in US, because one to the other. And just by her message, and I was telling her what happened to him in the hospital, and she says, oh my God, Anasuya, because I've known Mother Malati, I think, for, I don't know, since 92 or 93, for a long, long time, So we have this very, sweet connection whenever I see her. She's like my aunt, like my great aunt kind of a status. And she one time, and she says, oh my God, Anusia, I'm going to stop everything right now. And I'm going to go pray for Parikshit right now. And I said, oh my God. Having the praise of a proper disciple is as equal as proper praying. You see, just that thought. And when I told my husband, he says, I'm not that special, but Malati Prabhu's prayers, Prabhupada will never say no. That's what he said, you see? It's just a thought. So people at that age, at that stage, they want to feel, they want to know, is someone thinking about me? Is someone praying for me? Because they know devotees' prayers really go a long way. It takes devotees' prayers, to make everything. Because we were told devotees are kalpavriksha trees. Their prayers are even more powerful. So yeah, they want to know because they know that Krishna will hear the prayers of the devotees, Just as how when the devotees were praying for Prabhupada, don't leave, don't leave. The second time they prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev, and Prabhupada says, if you guys pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, and he told his disciples, you guys pray to Lord Nrsimhadev, when he had his second, when he was in, I think this was in New York, somewhere in the late 60s, early 70s. And the Lord listened, So yeah, I think it's really nice, Prabhu, that they know, because they want to feel that someone cares for them.
And I just want to quickly add, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, I just had my own little penny that just dropped right now. And when I mentioned earlier on to Mataji that I've been going through my own problems, and I've explained it to you, Prabhu, I just realized that you've been praying for me. I just clocked it. I didn't, I know, I just got it. And yeah, you know what, Prabhu? You're so kind. You're very, very kind and very dear to me. And I'm eternally grateful to have a lovely God brother like you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is called devotee relationship from the heart. And we want to spread that all around the world, all around ISKCON, to everybody, so that we all get inundated. So much so that whatever is enticing us from the material world, we can just say, get out. I don't need you because I have the devotees. I'm good. The world can break down, but I got my devotees. I'm great. My house can burn, but I got the devotees. I don't have to worry about it. So this is I'm really enjoying witnessing and being part of this exchange between you and Rajamandala. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps.
The devotees are worshipable.
Yes.
You can actually arti to the devotees. That's how potent they are.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, Prabhu.
So next
Thank you,
time
Krishna Kaviraj.
next time I see Krishna Kaviraj, you better hide your feet. I'm coming for them.
I've been
You
praying.
better be fast.
I've been praying to Krishna and Prabhupada every day for the last 3 weeks or something, saying, please show me the appropriate devotees. Please show me. Please bring them to me. Please send them. Why are you not sending them? Please send them.
You are special, Prabhu.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I thank you all so much. Krishna Kaviraj, thank you so much for this wonderful sharing. I'm so, so, so grateful, so, so happy. And thank you. Actually, I want to thank all of you for including me in your circle and having me be part of your circle and experience the beauty of loving relationships that we have heard over and over again by Srila Rupa Goswami, the 6 loving exchanges, which I have been told, and it's, so nice to be part of it. And I feel very fortunate, very fortunate. I can't wait to tell my husband this afternoon when I go to the hospital, actually this morning. I feel very fortunate and very blessed to be witnessing, be part of this. So thank you for allowing me to be part of the circle. I am honored and definitely blessed. And I thank you all for staying on until the end. And if by your permission, if I can end, because Rajamandala is still driving. I'm thinking, will he ever stop driving? He's still driving. So thank you all so much.
I'm getting there. I'm so sorry. I'm getting there.
Okay, good. Panchakrapnibhyascha kripasindabhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai. Hari Hari Bol devotees. Hari Krishna. Have a wonderful day. Hari Hari.